If you're wondering where I've been for the last 2 weeks and why I haven't uploaded a video to my channel, well, it's because I've been deeply engrossed in something that has recently caught my eye. What am I talking about? Visual effects. I'd always been fascinated by the prospect of being able to make anything you want a reality, and when I recently saw some videos of VFX artists transforming themselves into their favorite anime characters, I thought to myself, I could learn to do something like that too. And I decided I was going to make a video about it at the same time. I didn't know it was going to take me 2 weeks. I wasn't going to become an anime character though. Don't get me wrong, I like anime, but there is something I like more than anime, and that is video games. So I basically decided that I was going to become a video game character. The next step was deciding which game character I wanted to become. And after a bit of thinking, I finally had my answer. I was going to become Phoenix. Now I don't look anything like Phoenix. I mean, I'm not black, and I don't even have that cool jacket that he has. But I wasn't planning on cosplaying him anyways. I just wanted to replicate his abilities. So I checked out some After Effects tutorials online and then recorded the videos I would need. I was too lazy to go find my tripod stand, and so I just held my phone in my hand to record. And then I took it to After Effects, and this was the final result of the first attempt.
They love it when I turn up the bass.
I liked the fireball in my hand. It actually looked quite a lot like the fireball Phoenix uses. But the eyes were not looking that great. I mean, they were just two blobs on my face. So I decided to do it a second time. I got out my tripod stand and set it up in front of the same plain wall in my bedroom to record again. Then I took the footage to After Effects, and after hours of frame by frame masking and motion tracking the eyes and making the fireballs and animating them, here was the final result.
I've been doing good, baby, I've been doing great. Money in my pockets got me walking with a cane. They was talking down, throwing dirt on my name. Now I come through stunt, they don't even look my way. If you catch a glimpse, you might blind yourself. I dress like I really, really love myself. I got 6 bad broads and they love my wealth. But this for the family, keep your hands to yourself. Yeah, I'm racing and I'm never gonna stop. I just did 85 in a 20 past a cop. Fast cars, fast women, fast money, fast knots. I was cool, laying low, now I'm looking for the top.
Now, although this one still isn't great or even perfect in any way, I like this one more. It was definitely better than the first attempt. The fireballs were a bit different, and I also literally became Godzilla for a minute there. But yeah, it was inspired by Phoenix. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed that. I'll probably make more VFX and CG related videos. And if there are any video game characters you want me to try out, be sure to drop them in the comments. And yeah, I'll see you next time.